Welcome to my vlog. Join me as I build my company, create some cool shit, and share life along the way. Landing in your inbox every Tuesday at 9. Mitch was like, I am not camera ready.
Look at his hair.
And no it's like know. natural styling agent.
I'll be back to public servant life next week.
Hey guys, we are on our way to Boston. Me and Kylie, we're going and we're going to be delivering a workshop at Harvard. Thank you. Yes, we're turning down the Macklemore in the background. But I wanted to show you guys something excellent. So it is not quite early morning. It's 8:30. But so Kylie, Mitch, and I, after the last event in Vermont, we did something called a debrief. That included, and I saw this on Marie Forleo's Snapchat, that she said Tony Robbins always does after an event, and it's what did we do well, what did we do poorly, and how can we improve? And so that led to, that conversation immediately after the event led to the creation of this binder. It's a duotang, but you get the idea.
Oh my God, you said duotang.
It is my briefing binder. And it is amazing. Kylie compiled it and brought it together, and I have it on my Google Drive too. Information about my workshop, all written out. Everything we're gonna deliver, travel information, day of, what we gotta do, logistics, background about the event, and then even people I should meet. Isn't Kylie the bomb.com? I'm so dumb.
You're gonna care about this?
Yes, it's key!
I like the people who love going to Staples.
Yes, the organized people will love this. When I get my binders now, it saves me so much prep time for the event. Okay, we're gonna go to the airport. Who knows when we'll see you next? Maybe in Boston.
And for those who
we're also delivering this at Harvard, which I'm super stoked about. Pretty pumped. Okay, see you guys later. We've arrived. Look at Boston, looking beautiful. I think we're gonna head down to Sweet Green, which I've heard a lot about, but haven't been to myself. And then we're gonna go do some touristing. We came a day early because I'm building it into my travel schedule to have some downtime in the cities that I'm in, because otherwise it's a little overwhelming. So we've got an evening before the workshop tomorrow. Super excited about tomorrow. Okay, so this is our adventure. We're in Boston, walking around, enjoying life. No, we got Sweet Green, and I am tired. We had our full day at Startup Canada Day on the Hill yesterday, and then tomorrow's the workshop, and then the day after we're doing our walkthrough of the venue for the Rupee event. So I feel like it makes sense to kind of lay low and take it easy for a couple hours, and then we'll go for a walk before dinner and have a lovely dinner. In the meantime, we are watching Demi Lovato's documentary, Simply Complicated, on YouTube. So stay tuned. I think it's gonna be great. Looking like revenge, best I ever been. Yeah, I know how bad it must hurt to see me like this, but it gets worse. This movie is so good, you need to watch it. I love Demi Lovato. Beautiful Quincy Market and Family Market right by the harbor. So lovely. Boston is really a wonderful and beautiful place. Although we were saying there's got to be an underbelly to Boston, hey?
Yeah, because it's not like a Ben Affleck, Matt Damon movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Guys, we just found a Harry Potter store, and I feel like I'm obligated to walk inside. Welcome, Wizards and Muggles now open. Here we go. This is amazing.
Oh, I'm getting this. Oh, hell yeah.
I have died and gone to Harry Potter heaven. So we're walking down Newbury Street in Boston, and Kylie and I are just chatting, and we hear this guy walking around, and it's like Komal? Nikhil, who is one of our friends from New York, who the last time we saw each other was going to Funhouse.
Yeah, we went for that play, the Broadway play.
And Nikhil is in New York, CTO of Presenter, yep. Which is up and coming startup, and just overall badass guy who I danced with at, what's her name again? Anna Lynn.
Oh, Anna Lynn, with Anna Lynn.
We taught her Bhangra together.
We taught her Bhangra together, so that...
No big deal.
That's how we roll.
But just running into people in Boston, what are the odds?
She's awesome.
He's awesome. Did I tell you guys I was a meat eater again? So good. Let's see how it tastes. I'm ready. You're so ready. I don't know how to start. Okay. There it is. There it is. Figured it out. Hey guys, so I didn't sign off last night. I forgot. We were so tired when we got back. But we are all ready to go. This is my workshop look. Thanks, Shancy. I'm super pumped. We're going to Harvard. We're doing a workshop at Harvard.
At Harvard?
At Harvard. We're kind of like opposites.
Yeah.
I like this style. Team style. So Alice brought me here for the innovation competition, and I just wanted to know, how'd you hear about Dream Girl? How'd you find out about us?
Yeah, I was actually just looking for women entrepreneurs who have followed their passions and done things that they wanted, and I'm particularly interested in like journalism and media, and so then I stumbled across your name and like looked more into KoMedia. Saw that Komal here had made a film, Dream Girl, and I was like, wow, she'd be the perfect speaker to lead a workshop.
I'm so happy to be here. Well, thank you for thinking of us, and we're gonna go rock it. So we've got a really great mix of folks here. The way that I like to workshop is dialogue and discussion, and to have you journal. And I know a lot of people don't have pen and paper, so feel free to use your cell phone. Does everyone have their cell phone? Mm-hmm. Okay, this is a workshop where your cell phone can be out. So something that's very important to me is empowering other women. And who here identifies as a high achiever, as someone who is wanting success in their life, wants to work really hard for it, and is doing whatever it takes to get there? Raise your hand. I think we're all in that group, the fact that we're here. This is also Kylie. I guess we should do our intros. Kylie, what's your
So I work on Komal's team. I'm her director of content. And yeah, I'm excited to be here behind the camera. I'll just be quietly roaming around, so don't mind me.
And I'm Komal, and this is my first couple of months back at work after being diagnosed with cancer and surviving my battle with cancer. I lived in New York last year, and I produced a documentary film called Dream Girl. We premiered it at the White House. Oprah acknowledged us. I don't know if Oprah has like same sway in Colombia as she does in North America, but she's a figure here who's amazing. And it was a huge acknowledgement. But a lot of the times when we're talking about entrepreneurship and when we're engaging with people in higher level positions, all we hear is the good stuff. All we hear about is how the lists that they're on. You heard my bio, the accomplishments that they've had. Rarely do we get insight into the struggle and what it actually took to get there. And I feel like all of us in this room, we come here having had a lot of really intense experiences in our lives. And being women especially, we don't always get to share those experiences and be vulnerable with what we've gone through when we're on this path to success. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story of how I got here. So I produced this documentary, Dream Girl. I was living in Ottawa in Canada, and I got an email, and there was a Kickstarter campaign in that email. Who here knows Kickstarter? Everybody?
Yeah.
Crowdsourcing platform? Yeah. And it was for this documentary film about female entrepreneurs. And so I saw the trailer, and I was like, oh my God, this is my life, these are my people. I want to help bring this film to life so we have more realistic examples of wealth holders and entrepreneurs in media. And so I moved my entire life to New York. I started working on this film for 2 years, and we started a movement. And in the midst of that, I was asked to go home for a doctor's appointment back to Canada. As we know, health insurance in the States is its own beast. So I went back to Canada where we have universal health insurance. And I was getting some blood work done. I thought it was routine blood work. And I was sitting on the doctor's office table, and the doctor came in, and I was already thinking about my next day, my flight to New York, all these things. And he said, "Has anyone talked to you about these results that came in a couple of months ago?" And I said, "No, like I was in the midst of a move, probably missed your email or your phone call, whatever." And he said, "You have dermatofibrosarcoma protuberans." And I said, "I don't know what that is and I can't pronounce it." But it did have sarcoma in it. And I asked him, "Do I have cancer?" And he said, "Yes, Komal, you have cancer." And the tragedy of that moment for me wasn't that I had cancer and that I was sick. The tragedy of that moment was that the first thing that came to mind was, how quickly can I go back to work? It wasn't about getting healthy and happy and recentering myself. It was, I'm in the middle of a movement. My health has to be second to this. So I realized that that was pretty effed up, but it took me a while to realize it. 2 weeks before we got to meet Oprah, I was diagnosed. 2 weeks before we premiered at the White House, I had my first surgery. And the day that we were at the White House was my first pain-free day after surgery. And these examples kept happening. The first magazine cover that I was on was the same week as my second surgery. And it was just like these insane highs, but then these insane lows. And in the midst of it, I felt empty inside. So it wasn't that I was building wealth in a traditional way and buying shit and, having these material experiences. I was building a movement, making social impact, and building profit. But I was still empty inside. So what are we all running towards and for? And that's when I realized, I want to be a part of having more meaningful dialogues with women who want to make high impact in the world, so that you guys can figure out for yourselves what's a happy, satisfied life, and have that foundation set so that you can make a stronger impact in the world. So for me, when I'm redefining wealth, I look at it in 3 pillars: health, community, and financial independence. Kylie, where are we?
We're at the Harvard Business School.
Harvard. So, key reflections on Harvard, Kylie.
It was great. It was not exactly what we expected it to be, I think. Agreed. It was a younger demographic, and it was I told Komal it felt much more impactful because of that.
Yeah. It's really cool to know that this topic and workshop and keynote and everything we're building around redefining wealth is landing with all the different audiences we're working with. But it's also very cool, A, that we got to do this at Harvard, but B, that most of the group was actually from either Colombia, China, Singapore, and Australia. So no one was actually from North America, but that it was still culturally specific for everyone in the room. And I think this was a huge win for us. It felt great.
Yeah.
We're so tired. Okay, overall Harvard was awesome. Yeah. I'm sorry we didn't get to show you as much of campus as we wanted to, and that's all from us for now. We are diving into this week with a lot of rest in mind. Travel was a bunch. Startup Day on the Hill was amazing, and now we need to do a lot of groupie event prep before I head to New Orleans and LA. So we've got a lot coming.
Yeah.
But we also just did, so at the end of every workshop, event, or whatever, we do a review of what was great, what was bad, and what we could improve. And we just did that for Harvard and this trip. And I just feel like it helps us get better and better and better. and I think it's one of the best pieces of advice I've ever heard or gotten. And it was through Marie Forleo via Tony Robbins. She talked about it in one of her blogs, that she learned that from him in Fiji when she was there for the Shopify Build Your Bigger Business event. And I just want to say, try that. After any event, whatever, make your debrief immediately after. What was good, what was bad, what can we improve, and we'll be even better next time. So until